did the Philadelphia Phillies just mortgage their October chances to save a few $1,000,000? Matt Strahm is heading to Kansas City, and the shockwaves from this trade reveal everything wrong with how this franchise is navigating their championship window. This isn't strategic roster construction. This is financial constraint dressed up as baseball operations, and it might cost them everything when the games matter most. The whispers started weeks ago. 3 solid left-handed relievers on the roster, weak market demand, salary considerations mounting. The trade made sense on spreadsheets and budget projections, but baseball games aren't won in accounting departments, and the Phillies just traded away a genuine weapon to balance their books. Matt Strahm wasn't organizational depth or a replaceable middle reliever. He was a high-leverage arm who could attack hitters from both sides, provide length when starters faltered, and dominate in October when every pitch carries championship weight. Now he's gone, shipped to Kansas City for Jonathan Bowlan and payroll relief, and the timing couldn't be more damning. Just days after signing Brad Keller to a 2-year, $22 million deal that generated genuine optimism about Philadelphia's commitment to depth, they turn around and gut their bullpen to clear salary space. The contradiction is jarring, the message confusing. Are the Phillies trying to win a championship or manage a budget? Because right now, it feels like they're attempting both and succeeding at neither. Let's establish what Philadelphia just lost. Strahm posted consistently excellent numbers as a versatile reliever who could handle any situation manager Rob Thompson threw at him. His ability to neutralize both left-handed and right-handed hitters made him invaluable in matchup-heavy playoff baseball. He could pitch multiple innings when needed, bridge to the closer in tight games, or close games himself when the situation demanded it. That kind of versatility is exactly what separates elite bullpens from merely good ones, and the Phillies just traded it away for financial flexibility and a replacement-level arm. Jonathan Bowlan isn't a bad pitcher. His 3.86 ERA and 3.97 FIP across 44.1 innings for Kansas City last season represents solid middle relief production. He struck out 46 against 17 walks, demonstrating decent command and stuff. He gives Philadelphia right-handed relief depth they've genuinely lacked. But let's not pretend this is an equal swap or even a reasonable facsimile of one. Strahm is the superior pitcher by every meaningful metric, more proven, more versatile, more reliable in high-leverage situations. Bowlan is organizational depth, the kind of arm every team needs, but nobody fears when he enters a crucial playoff game. The financial logic behind this move is transparent and depressing. The Phillies are operating near the luxury tax threshold with limited payroll flexibility. They're repeat taxpayers facing escalating penalties on every additional dollar spent. They've got expensive veterans like Nick Castellanos potentially being released while still owed $20 million. They need to re-sign JT Realmuto. They're trying to balance competitive urgency with fiscal responsibility, and something had to give. Strahm became the sacrifice on the altar of budget management. But here's the fundamental problem with that calculus. Championship windows don't stay open indefinitely. The Phillies have an elite core right now. Bryce Harper in his prime, Tree Turner locked up long-term, Zack Wheeler when healthy is a Cy Young candidate, Aaron Nola providing steady veteran excellence. They've won consecutive NL East titles. They've been to the World Series recently. They're legitimate contenders right now, not in some theoretical future window. This is the moment when organizations should be adding pieces, maximizing every competitive advantage, going all in on championship pursuit. Instead, they're subtracting. They're trading proven relievers for salary relief and replacement-level returns. They're operating with one hand tied behind their back by self-imposed financial constraints that other championship-caliber organizations simply ignore when the window is this wide open. The Los Angeles Dodgers don't make this trade. The New York Yankees don't make this trade. Teams that prioritize winning above all else find ways to keep their best players and add more, not trim depth to balance budgets. What happens when injuries inevitably ravage the bullpen during the grueling summer months? What happens when September arrives and the Phillies need multiple high-leverage arms to navigate tight divisional races. What happens when October comes, and they're one reliable lefty short in a crucial playoff series against a lineup loaded with dangerous left-handed hitters? The Phillies just made themselves more vulnerable in all those scenarios to save money they're already committed to spending on players who might not even contribute. The bullpen construction for 2026 now looks significantly thinner and less versatile. They've still got their closer and a few solid arms, but the depth that made them genuinely dangerous has been compromised. The ability to deploy multiple high-quality left-handed options depending on matchups is gone. Bowlan helps fill the right-handed void, but at the cost of left-handed versatility and proven October performance. It's a lateral move at absolute best, a meaningful downgrade in realistic assessment, and it happened because the budget demanded sacrifice rather than baseball logic. This trade also raises serious questions about the front office's decision-making process and priority hierarchy. If payroll flexibility was so desperately critical that trading Strahm became necessary, why sign Brad Keller to a multi-year, $22 million deal just days before making this move? Why not execute the Strahm trade first, then deploy that freed-up financial space more strategically across multiple needs? The sequencing feels backwards, reactive rather than proactive, creating the impression of an organization scrambling to balance competing priorities rather than executing a coherent, well-planned roster construction strategy. The return for Strahm feels underwhelming, bordering on insulting, given his actual value to a contending team. Bowlan is a useful piece for organizational depth, but this wasn't a talent-for-talent swap where both teams improved in different areas. This was a salary dump disguised as roster management. The Phillies didn't extract a prospect haul or acquire a controllable young arm with significant upside. They got a replacement-level reliever and payroll breathing room. That's not how championship-caliber teams operate when they're this close to winning it all, when the window is this clearly open. The broader context makes this even more frustrating. The Phillies just committed $150 million over 5 years to Kyle Schwarber. They're potentially paying Nick Castellanos $20 million to play elsewhere or not play at all. They've got significant money tied up in players who might not contribute meaningfully to championship pursuit. Yet when it comes to a proven, versatile high-leverage reliever who actually helps them win games in October, suddenly budget constraints become insurmountable obstacles. The resource allocation feels backwards, the priorities misaligned with championship ambition. Dave Dombrowski has built his reputation on aggressive roster construction and championship-focused decision-making. He's won World Series by going all in when windows open, by prioritizing talent over budget concerns, by making the moves that scared competitors make when they're serious about winning. This Strahm trade feels like the opposite of that philosophy. It feels like organizational constraint overriding baseball judgment, like financial considerations trumping competitive advantage. The Phillies' championship window is open right now, not in some theoretical future season. Their core is in its prime. Their division is winnable. Their roster, when fully healthy and properly constructed, can compete with anyone in baseball. But championship teams don't trade proven relievers for salary relief when they're this close. Championship teams find ways to add depth, not subtract it. Championship teams prioritize October performance over March payroll flexibility. What happens if the Phillies fall one game short in the playoffs? What happens if they lose a crucial series because their bullpen couldn't hold a lead or couldn't navigate a tough matchup situation? What happens if Matt Strahm is dominating for Kansas City in October while Philadelphia is watching from home, wondering what might have been if they'd kept their depth intact? Those questions will haunt this organization if this trade backfires, and the probability of that happening just increased significantly. The 2026 season will ultimately judge this decision. If the Phillies win the World Series despite trading Strahm, if Bowlan exceeds expectations and fills the void seamlessly, if the financial flexibility gained enables other moves that prove more valuable, then this trade will look defensible in hindsight. But if they fall short, if the bullpen becomes a weakness that costs them games, if they're one reliable arm short when it matters most, then this trade will stand as evidence of an organization that prioritized budget management over championship pursuit at the worst possible moment. Should the Phillies have kept Strahm and absorbed the payroll hit? Absolutely, without question, unequivocally yes. Should they be prioritizing competitive advantage over financial flexibility when their window is this wide open? Every championship team in baseball history would answer that question the same way. Will this trade come back to haunt them when they're one arm short in a crucial playoff series? We'll find out in October, and the answer might be devastatingly painful. What's your take on this move? Does trading Matt Strahm for salary relief make any sense whatsoever given the Phillies' championship window and competitive positioning? Is this bullpen still good enough to dominate in October, or did Philadelphia just create a critical vulnerability that better constructed teams will ruthlessly exploit when the games carry championship weight? The margins between winning it all and going home disappointed are razor thin, and the Phillies just made those margins even narrower to save money they're already spending elsewhere.